An NBC executive just said something about Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever that LeBron James fans are not going to want to hear. We're talking about a man who runs one of the biggest sports networks in America. A guy whose job is to know exactly who moves the needle, who puts people in seats, who makes advertisers write checks. And he just went on record saying Caitlin Clark is the most iconic figure in basketball. Not women's basketball. Basketball. Period. If you've been watching basketball since LeBron appeared on that Sports Illustrated cover at 17 years old, the chosen one, you know how rare it is for someone to challenge his cultural dominance. Are we witnessing another bird magic moment? A changing of the guard that reshapes the entire sport? When you hear exactly what NBC said and why they said it, you'll understand why this is about to start a war between two fan bases. Here's what happened. NBC just announced that Caitlin Clark is joining their Basketball Night in America pregame show. Her first appearance is February 1st, Lakers vs. Knicks at Madison Square Garden. She'll be back March 29th for Thunder Knicks. Now, the lineup she's joining is impressive. Maria Taylor hosting, Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, 3 Hall of Famers, providing analysis, and Caitlin Clark, a 23-year-old who's played exactly 53 WNBA games in her career. But here's the part that's making headlines. NBC's executive producer Sam Flood was asked why they wanted Caitlin Clark specifically, and his answer, quote, "There's no more iconic figure in basketball in the women's game right now, or the game in general. The game in general, not women's basketball, not college basketball, basketball. That means, according to NBC, the Indiana Fever's franchise player is more iconic than LeBron James, more iconic than Steph Curry, more iconic than anyone currently playing professional basketball." Bold statement. Let's see if it holds up. On paper, this claim seems absurd. Let me show you why. For those who remember that 2003 Sports Illustrated cover, LeBron as a high school junior being called the chosen one, you've watched this man dominate for over 2 decades. He's been famous longer than Caitlin Clark has been alive. LeBron James has 160 million followers on social media. Caitlin Clark has about 3 million on Instagram. Last season alone, LeBron generated 3.23 billion views on NBA digital platforms. That's billion with a B. He was the most viewed player in the entire league. Again, he scored over 40,000 career points, the first player in NBA history to ever reach that number. He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a record people thought would never be broken. 4 championships, 4 MVP awards, 4 finals MVPs, 20 All-Star selections. In 2024, he and his son Bronny became the first father-son duo to play together in NBA history.
History tonight, the first father-son duo to play together in an NBA game.
Think about that. He's been dominant long enough to play with his own son. And in 2025, LeBron was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame while still playing. One of only 2 players ever to do that. The other was Chris Paul, inducted in the same ceremony. But LeBron isn't just a basketball player. He's a business empire. He became the first active NBA player to reach billionaire status. His net worth is now $1.2 billion. Michael Jordan didn't hit that number until 10 years after he retired. LeBron owns part of the Boston Red Sox and Liverpool Football Club through Fenway Sports Group. His media company, SpringHill, is valued at over $700 million. He has a lifetime Nike deal worth more than $1 billion, the biggest endorsement in the company's history. He's produced movies, TV shows, and documentaries. He opened a school in his hometown of Akron. He's met with presidents and shaped political conversations. By every traditional measure of success, influence, and reach, LeBron James dominates this comparison. So why would NBC say what they said? Here's what NBC sees that the raw numbers don't tell you. The Wall Street Journal called Caitlin Clark, and I'm quoting directly, the GOAT of TV ratings. They said her impact on television viewership exceeded any other modern athlete. Not the most talented, not the most accomplished, the most impactful on viewership. Let me give you specific numbers, because the Nielsen ratings tell a staggering story. Before Caitlin Clark, the WNBA hadn't had a single game reach 1 million viewers since 2008. That's 16 years without a million-viewer game. Not when Diana Taurasi was winning championships. Not when Aja Wilson was collecting MVP trophies. The league had superstars. They just couldn't crack that rating ceiling. Then Caitlin arrived. In her rookie season, the league had 23 games that broke 1 million viewers according to Nielsen. Caitlin appeared in 21 of them. Her games with the Fever averaged 1.18 million viewers. Every other WNBA game that season, 394,000. She was drawing 3 times the audience of everyone else. Her 2024 WNBA draft was watched by 2.45 million people, the most in draft history, up 307% from the year before. The previous record was set in 2004 when Diana Taurasi went first overall, and Caitlin nearly quintupled those numbers. The 2024 All-Star Game featuring Caitlin against Team USA, 3.44 million viewers. That's 139% higher than the previous record set in 2003. Her 2025 season opener against Angel Reese, 2.7 million viewers. The most watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years according to Nielsen data. Even her preseason game, a meaningless exhibition against Brazil, drew 1.2 million viewers. The only other preseason basketball games to ever hit that number on ESPN, games featuring LeBron James. But here's the detail that matters most to a network like NBC. When Caitlin plays, people who don't normally watch basketball. She took the Indiana Fever from a team that averaged 4,000 fans per game to one that sold out every single home game. Their combined home and road attendance set a single-season WNBA record, 643,000 fans. The next closest team was 200,000 behind. Forbes now values the Fever at $370 million, the second most valuable franchise in the WNBA. They led the league in revenue with $32 million in 2024. A sports marketing agency called Two Circles studied social media in 2024 and found that Caitlin Clark was the most talked about female athlete from any sport. And here's the kicker. Posts mentioning her had the highest engagement of any athlete. Period. Male or female. The Fever's team store was literally audited because sales increased so dramatically that it triggered a red flag. Her impact has been compared to the Bird Magic rivalry that saved the NBA in the 1980s. The rivalry that took NBA Finals from tape delay broadcasts to primetime appointment television and transformed basketball into a national obsession. That's the Caitlin Clark effect, and that's what NBC is betting on. Let's talk about what's really happening here. NBC just paid billions of dollars for NBA rights. They're also getting WNBA coverage starting in 2026. They're making a massive investment in basketball content, and they need to know who is going to drive Nielsen ratings 5 years from now. LeBron James is 40 years old. Even he can't play forever. Steph Curry is 36. Kevin Durant is 36. The faces of the NBA for the past decade are all approaching the end. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is 23. She could be dominating for the next 15 years. NBC isn't just making a statement about who's popular today, they're making a bet on the future. And look at the company they're putting her in. NBC calls her a special contributor, the same title they gave to Michael Jordan when he joined their coverage. Michael Jordan, the most iconic basketball player in history. And Caitlin Clark gets the same designation. Sam Flood said they want her with a basketball in her hand on set. They're not treating her like a guest. They're treating her like the future face of their basketball coverage. This isn't about who has the better career. It's about who moves the needle when networks are spending billions on rights deals. NBC is betting everything on Caitlin Clark, and they just told us exactly how highly they value her. So here's the question. Is Sam Flood right? Is a 23-year-old who's played 53 WNBA games, including just 13 last year due to injury, really more iconic than the NBA's all-time leading scorer? The answer depends entirely on what iconic means. If iconic means the greatest career, the most championships, the biggest legacy, LeBron wins. It's not even a conversation. He's a top 2 player in NBA history with a billion-dollar empire to match. But if iconic means who captures new attention right now, who brings people to the game who wouldn't otherwise watch, who represents where basketball is going rather than where it's been, then maybe NBC isn't as crazy as they sound. Think about it this way. LeBron doesn't need to prove anything anymore. Everyone already knows who he is. He's been famous for over 2 decades. Caitlin Clark is still writing her story, and every time she steps on the court, millions of people tune in to see what happens next. That's a different kind of iconic. It's not about what you've accomplished. It's about what you mean to people right now, in this moment. NBC is betting that matters more for their ratings than legacy ever could. Caitlin makes her NBC debut this Saturday, February 1st, when the Lakers play the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Coverage starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. She'll be back March 29th for Thunder Knicks. Meanwhile, the WNBA is still negotiating a new CBA with the players. If they can't reach a deal, the Indiana Fever's next regular season game might be delayed. But one thing's clear. Whether she's playing or talking about the game, every network in America wants Caitlin Clark on their air. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with NBC? Is Caitlin Clark more iconic than LeBron James right now? Or did Sam Flood just commit the hottest take of 2026?